So thank you all so much for joining us this evening for our second Skillshare of the year. We're really excited to have you all, and we're super excited to have Krista from True Foods here to tell us all about fire cider. Krista is a musician, independent educator, gardener, and grateful visitor of Lenape lands in the Mid-Hudson Valley. She is a co-founder of the True Foods Preservation Collective, a community of land stewards of all experience levels who grow, preserve, and share food as a practice in self-determination and collective health. True Foods is an emerging membership-based social club that practices liberation and action by sharing food, building skills, and reconnecting with each other and the living soil. We're so grateful to have Krista here with us, and without further ado, I will hand it over to you, Krista.
Hey y'all, what's up? It's good to see everybody here. Thank you for coming. I am Krista, as you know, and True Foods is a project that myself and a whole bunch of community members here have been working on for a few years. So I just wanted to share a little bit about our work and what we have been up to get a little bit of context. Next slide. So we do a couple things. Pretty much we share food, we build skills, and we connect. And I am really proud of my friends. I'm really proud of my community. I am in love with everyone who has been doing this work, and I'm in love with the work. So I just wanted to shamelessly put a few really cute photos of what we have been up to. So you can see us eating, we got the homemade pizzas, we got some salad on the right. Mommy Mika has some Nepalese inspired, they're almost like pupusas, but they're made of potato with like potato and red pepper and onion filling. Okay, next slide. And we also build skills, right? Because overall, we're going to need to be collectively up-leveling our skill set when it comes to food and land work. That's just going to be a must for the future, for thriving in the future. So we also host different workshops, like we host skill shares. We did a few at Wild Seed Community Farm in Millerton, New York. And that middle photo is from that. We're doing some wattle fencing there, weaving the branches to create natural fencing that gives back to the soil over time. And on the left, we're clearing the area to trellis some blackberries. And then on the right, you can see we're also doing work with youth. So we did like summer camps for the kids and walked them through the garden and had them trying things. So yeah, anything from seed to compost is really our business. Next, please. And of course, we're trying to connect. We've had these amazing dinners and potlucks, skill shares, like I said. People getting together in the garden is really what we're trying to create, a world where we're touching the soil, a world where we are eating closer to the soil, and where we're up-leveling our collective skill set. So thank you for going down memory lane with me. Next, please. Okay, so today, right, we're going to be making fire cider, as y'all know. I wanted to start with a very, very brief, oh, thanks, Mel. I want to start with a very, very brief history of why are we here, what are we doing. I did a little research in preparation for this and found some really interesting info on that. So fire cider, this term fire cider, I guess comes from an herbalist named Rosemary Gladstar. You may or may not know her, in the 70s and the 80s. And that's just a very modern term for what we're doing here. That's just the most, the blip on the edge of history. I guess that word got trademarked later by a certain company, and a bunch of herbalists got really mad. They're like, you can't trademark what is folk medicine. This has been going on for hundreds, thousands of years. But anyway, that's some modern drama that we don't even need to get into. I also found that the term oxymel, which you may be familiar with, is an older term that describes any kind of elixir with acid and honey, and that comes from 400 BC. So we're looking at like the Greek and Persian areas of the world have been doing this for at least that long. Okay, I keep digging, right? A couple bullets down, I found that they found, because I was like, yeah, okay, maybe it came from Greece. And then I was like, you know what, let me look deeper because I have a hunch. No, it's Africa. So back in 3000 BC, they found traces of vinegar in urns. 3000 BC. So we're connecting to a very ancient practice, a medicinal, a ritualistic practice. And up to 6000 BC, there are ancient scrolls that mention, I don't know how to say it, hekwa, I think, which is a vinegar made from barley. So basically we're talking about something that is extremely old and something that we're still doing. So whenever you start going on WebMD and they're like, we don't know if fire cider, we don't know if vinegar, there's no proven, just go back to 6000 BC, okay? There's a reason why we've been doing it for this long. And there's a little bit at the bottom here about the history of honey too. And there are depictions of humans collecting honey from wild bees up to 10,000 years ago, which is when they say that the history of the Lenape people is, for the lands that we live on here, is the earliest recording of that, of their inhabitants here and of their life. So that's just a little bit of history. That's a little bit of folk tradition to get us oriented in where we are standing. Today, we're going to be making some fire cider. The process is simple. It is pretty quick. We're going to be chopping. We're going to be filling. We're going to be pouring the vinegar over it. And then pretty much you wait. So that part is not complicated. And then what you will do on your own after so many weeks is you will strain it out to separate the solids from the really rich infused vinegar. And at that point is a really good time to add the honey, and we can go over that later. And then we use it. So it's going to be pretty much straightforward. And at the end, we are going to talk a little bit about how to use this fire cider. I also have a slide on medicinal benefits. There's so many. They didn't fit all on one slide. I just tried to cover the bases. But we can get into that. Hopefully we can start hanging out. I'm not as much of a digital person. I feel a little bit like I'm in the Matrix. That's where I'm at right now, but I know you're there. I know you can hear me and I know you feel it. So we're gonna I'm gonna welcome you soon to feel free to come off mute. Like if you have a question, once we get going, once we get chopping, I really do want this to be accessible to every single person. If you came here and you've made fire cider tens of times and you know what you're doing and you're really here to just carve out that time for yourself and do it in community, thank you for coming. Go ahead and make your fire cider. If you are like, which one is the lemon and which one is the lime, and I don't know if I can eat this part, your questions are welcome. There are no stupid questions. We are all learning from each other. Please unmute yourself when we get there and say, help me. I've never done this before. And hopefully y'all can see the close-up of the chopping block. I love to share my little chopping hacks, and maybe we can share chopping hacks. So that is pretty much that. What's next? Yeah. Oh, a little disclaimer. You know, I said consult before taking fire cider. I didn't say avoid taking fire cider. Please go talk to a professional, somebody that you trust, whether that's like a Western doctor, whether it's an herbalist, whoever it is that you go to for health things. If you have any of these things on this list, just get somebody else's opinion before you start ingesting a lot of vinegar regularly. Next. All right, y'all, this is the moment where I would love for some of you to show us your flaves. Like, what did you bring to the table today in terms of flavors? Does anybody feel called to share something?
I don't mind sharing. Hi, everyone. Thanks for organizing this. I'm not a digital person either. I hate being on the computer, but um, I brought just some nettle to add today. And I've studied herbalism, so this is like a really cool thing to be in community, especially with all the chaos that's happening. So, thanks.
Thank you so much. Yes, nettles, near and dear to my heart. Nettles is one of the herbs that really like inspired my whole journey. And if you look at the True Foods logo, it's the hand gripping the nettles as a symbol of like, okay, it's gonna sting, but we're gonna do this. Like we are gonna eat. Like that's a necessary factor. I brought some fruits. You can see in I got limes, I got lemons. I didn't have time to go to the fancy store, so I just got what I had, but they did have a grapefruit. And so I'm gonna be using that today too. Anybody else want to share something y'all are gonna put in this fire cider?
I can share. Greetings, everyone. I love the flavors that you've chosen. I chose like almost all of them. Black currant was like, what? I have not done that, but it just sounds so delicious. I decided to put a little apple in there and also some thyme. So definitely heavy on the rosemary as well. Yeah, super excited for how tasty and healing this is gonna be.
Thank you so much. Yes, apple is a classic. The thyme is so good for the sinuses and opening up those airways. And the wild thyme out here is so beautiful. It grows like really close to the ground. It has those little purple flowers, and as you walk on it, you can like smell the scent. Oh, I'm so ready for the snow to be. I love winter too, and I'm ready for the purple thyme. Anybody else want to share flavors?
I can share. I
Okay.
have some cinnamon. I have some cloves and some grapefruit, orange, and lemon.
That's gonna be good. Delicious. Yeah, y'all can see my flavors. I also have cinnamon and clove, star anise, cardamom is like my ride or die spice. Um, and then I have a little dandelion, which is the last little bit of dandelion. It's so tedious to harvest it, but I have this last little bit right here that I'm just gonna throw the rest in. It's perfect for, odds and ends. Like if you have some fruit that's going bad or just a little bit of something, you can toss it in the fire cider. It's like making soup stock or something. Okay, maybe one more person and then we can do it.
I just
Anybody else?
put my picture on. I just added a little turmeric, turmeric, a little cayenne, cloves, bay leaf, and lemon.
Delicious.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for sharing.
Krista, I
I
have
wish,
a question.
yeah,
Uh,
go ahead.
if I have like turmeric powder or cinnamon powder, is that good? Or should we have like the raw form?
Honestly, the fresher the better is just a general rule of thumb for me, but you can use anything for this. There's no right way, there's no wrong way. I'm going to repeat that many, many, many times. I think the only trick you might run into, for example, is like in the straining process, you're going to want like a cheesecloth or something that can really strain the fine granular powders out, but it'll still absorb, like it'll be fine. Experiment and find out. I feel like that's how I've literally done everything in my life. So has anybody else ever tried the powders for making fire cider? No? Cool. All right, let's do it. I'm ready to do this. Can we get the next slide? Let's chop. All right, so I got my jars here. You can use any kind of jars. I have these big mason jars. I like the big wide openings because I like to be able to get my hand in there to wash it. You can use literally any jar. And I think I'm gonna start with my onion. Let's give everything a wash if you haven't already. I forgot to mention because I'm flustered and in the digital world that we're supposed to, not supposed to. You can, if you wish, to throw your produce in a bowl with maybe like a teaspoon or so of baking soda, and we can let that soak just for a little bit. They say that the baking soda can help remove the pesticides. So since these things might be sitting in our fire cider, drenching and whatnot for weeks, we might want to try to do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab a bowl and BRB. So it's okay. There's not much happening. I'm just filling the water, putting a little baking soda, and this is actually good because I feel like I want to maybe put the spices at the bottom because once the liquid comes in, I'm gonna use the produce and stuff to kind of keep it down, keep it submerged. So we'll let this soak for like 5, maybe 1 teaspoon, maybe 2, swish it around a little bit. Again, this is a folk tradition. No right way, no wrong way, only intuition. I have in here lemons, limes, grapefruit, onion. And I'm gonna throw my ginger in here too. Because a ginger root obviously is a root, sits in the ground, and I didn't have time to get organic. So we're gonna put that in there. And you can choose to do 2 different flavors. You can choose to do 1 flavor. What did I choose? So in my one, I have cinnamon, clove, star anise, cardamom. Got my cinnamon sticks. Got my cardamom. It's not basil, it's cardamom. We reuse, reduce, recycle, y'all. Star anise, which is so beautiful, really. I'm gonna put it up to the camera. You guys see. Not sure if you're familiar with that. I just love these little pods. They smell like licorice. In terms of like how much should I put in each jar? Again, folk tradition. If you're not sure, if you're like, I've never used cloves before, should I put like a whole handful or should I put like 1? Now is a good time to get off the mic and be like, hey, what do y'all think about this? I have this. If you feel confident. Thank you for laughing at me. I mean, with me. Yeah, humor is medicine. I'm here for it. I'm a Leo. I'm gonna put 3. How much baking soda should I put like 1 to 2 teaspoons in with the water? And I kind of like did this with my hand a little bit. And I'm just gonna wait another few minutes. I think they said like 20 minutes is the best. And I forgot to notify y'all that that was part of what I wanted to do, but it's okay. We'll soak it for a little bit and then we'll keep it moving. Did I miss any other questions, Sonia? We good? Cool.
No, that's the only one so far. But yeah, feel free to chat or come off mute if y'all have any questions.
Yeah. No problem. I think I'm gonna do 5, 6 of these star pods in here. That feels right. Let me get this in there. Cardamom I love, so we're gonna go heavy on the. No, we're not chopping anything yet. I forgot to tell everybody to put their produce in a bowl with baking soda, so we all did that. Like 1 to 2 teaspoons of baking soda, fill it up with water just above the produce. And I put my ginger in there too. And that should help to extract some of the major pesticides from the foods. I think I'm gonna go with like this many cardamoms.
So are we adding anything to the jar? I see that you're adding stuff to your jar. What are we adding to the jar now?
Got you. So we are adding loose spices or other things that are not the produce. My thought was those could go in the bottom and then the produce can kind of like wedge them in so that they're not floating all around.
Okay, so I have fresh herbs. So put those in.
Sure, there's no
Okay.
wrong way, there's no right way.
Okay, thank
Yeah, feel free. But you can put them in with the stems if they're fresh. You don't have to do any chopping or anything if you want to just, that's fine. I kind of went with like a little bit of a chai. I mean, I'm obsessed with chai, so as you can see, I'm putting this many cloves. This is what feels right to me. And I think I'm gonna do like 2 cinnamon sticks in a quart jar. Boom, boom. And I have these peppercorns. If y'all are obsessed with food like me and you have not heard of this brand for spices, life-changing. The freshest, most amazing spices. Get them for your friends. I'm not connected with this brand.
What's the name of the brand? I can't really see it.
Got you. It's called Burlap and Barrel.
Oh, I've heard I heard it's an obsession.
It's an obsession. It's absolutely an obsession. And that's where we are right now, obsessed. Really delicious. We got some white peppercorns in there. And this is my jar of dandelion root. So, like I said, super tedious to harvest. So they're so itty bitty. I'm tired of looking at them, so they're all going in. Because I have a dried hot pepper that's just been sitting on my counter for a while, I think I'm just gonna place the whole thing in there because I don't want to get my knife all spicy right now. If you have a fresh pepper, you can cut it. Do we keep the peel on the fruits? If you absolutely can. There's a couple of things we could do. One, we could slice the lemons. Let's actually go ahead and do it. I'm gonna pull out the fruit and give it a wash with cold water. Sorry, I didn't answer your question right away because the answer is maybe, or like yes and.
Krista, while you're washing, another question came in from Rhonda asking, I noticed that turmeric and ginger are the main roots used. Are there any other root herbs used?
I have seen mostly turmeric and ginger as like your staple fire cider herbs. I think garlic, and it's not technically a root, but the garlic bulb is definitely used. You can use any, horseradish is a root that sometimes people will use, or they'll grate into it, or slice or dice. What are the roots? Dandelion is a root. It's dried in my case. Because there's no dandelions alive right now. Okay, I'm gonna show a couple of different fruit options, right? So One option is I'm gonna just cut the end off of both sides of this lemon. And you can go ahead and just slice it into slices with the peel on. The peel is gonna give it a little bit more of a bitter taste. If you're concerned about that, you can also chop the lemon in half and squeeze it right into the bottom. Or if you have one of these to get the lemon juice out, you can do that. No right way, no wrong way. I think I'm gonna do both. I'm gonna do some slices because I think it's beautiful. And then because I have a few lemons and a couple different fruits, I'm gonna do some squeezing as well. Oh, this one was a little brown. Ooh, it's very brown. See, I'm not using that. That's nasty. That's too far gone for fire cider. Ew.
If you only have lemon, would you still put that in that baking soda water wash?
Yeah, I would. Anything that's been exposed to pesticides, that's not a dried herb, basically. I am going to move to ginger because I'm a ginger freak. Again, no right way, no wrong way. You can slice it with the peel on. You could peel it and then slice it without the peel on. The peel is gonna give it a little bit of extra bitterness. It's also gonna have like more of the nutrients of the root in there. I'll just do a little bit of both ways. Do y'all know about peeling ginger with a spoon? Does everybody know about this? If you don't know, you're gonna know. All right, here's one way. And the third way is to grate it too. I have a small grater, like a lemon zester. But you just grab a regular spoon and essentially anchor your thumb like this and peel it back. This is a lot more effective than like a vegetable peeler. It takes a lot because the ginger is not that big. This just takes the like really soft layer on the outside. Yeah. Oh, I really hope somebody out there is seeing this for the first time today. That would make my day.
I am. I always use a peeler, and it's like,
Really?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's way more effort than it's worth.
The spoon is the way.
Yeah, I gotta do that next time.
Yeah. The spoon is the way. It becomes a little bit more tricky. Oh, good. I'm glad. It becomes a little more tricky. Like this piece of ginger is really big, so it's easier to hold. You know, the little pieces with all the little nooks and crannies that can get harder. But I love ginger. I'm obsessed. Ginger is a magical medicinal friend. So in order to get the most surface area, I am gonna do some grating. Got my grater here. I think technically this is like a lemon zester or something, but right now it's a ginger grater.
I have a quick question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Wash my produce and I don't have baking soda, but this, which is a fruit and vegetable wash. It says it removes pesticides and things. So yeah.
Good. Yeah, I hope it, I mean, it should. I hope it does.
Yeah. Okay.
And That actually reminds me too, because if you don't have baking soda, because we added that to this really late in the game, if you don't have that, you can use a little bit of the vinegar for the fire cider in the bowl with the water. Both of them have the property. I think baking soda is a little bit more effective. It's from my minimal research, but you can just do a couple of teaspoons. So I'm just getting this nice gingery, almost paste. Because this one's really wet. And with all this surface area, it's gonna be like so spicy and nice. You see it coming out that side. I'm kind of losing some liquid. I'm gonna put a plate down. I'm trying to get my money's worth of ginger.
Mel asked, do we rinse after the baking soda wash?
Yes, rinse it with water. It's not like the worst thing in the world if you don't can eat baking soda, but the flavor is not ideal. This is not going as fast as I want it to, but it's happening.
Can I ask you a question while you're doing that?
Absolutely.
So, would you do the same process with turmeric?
You could. You absolutely could, yeah. It's
Do you-
really just about getting more surface area.
Okay, because the spoon, I feel like peeling turmeric is very difficult for me, and I don't have like I've just done the knife, and I feel like I lose so much of the actual root. When I do that, it also like stains everything. So I've been trying to find like an easy way to do that.
Try the spoon. I didn't realize you were talking about the spoon. I thought you were talking about the grating. With the spoon, definitely use it to peel. Yeah.
Both, actually. I could do the
Okay.
same grading as well, right? To
Mhm.
grade. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for asking questions. I feel like I'm not alone.
I've been trying not to talk over everything you're doing, but I have lots of questions. I'm writing them down and saving them to the end.
Okay, cool. Love that. Okay, I did enough grading for this moment as decided by me, so I'm just gonna scoop this. And I'm just gonna chop the rest because I do want to put all of this ginger in. But I want this one to get a little extra spicy. And this is not really what this tool is for, but we are making it work. Okay, cardamom, black pepper, hot chili. I just put the hot chili in there whole. Again, all of this would work if we did literally no chopping, just shoved it in a bucket, poured vinegar over it and waited. It would still work. But it might not be as beautiful. So I'm gonna split this ginger up between my two jars. My other jar is still lonely over here. It needs, I guess I'm gonna do mostly citrus and onion and garlic in that one. So boom and boom. And let's do garlic. If you haven't done garlic, an onion. Now's a good time. I think I'm gonna go for like a whole like bulb per jar because I'm trying to get healthy. So this is what I like to do. I like to put the knife in between the bulbs and then gently kind of wiggle it in and then turn it sideways. And that usually like frees the rest of this garlic to be able to break it up with my fingers. That's what I do. Boom, boom, getting all the peels out the way. And there's a compound, please, if somebody knows the name of it, I think it might be called either alanine or allicin in garlic.
Allison, you got it.
It's allicin, thank you so much. Allicin, right? That when you expose the skin to the air, it like activates that compound. That's my understanding. And if you wait, or if you wait at least 5 minutes before you cook with it or eat it, that it can change the medicinal properties of the garlic for the better, is what I hear. I like to do this, put the knife flat, put my hand on it, crunch, boom. Now I'm just gonna cut the end of it. And that separates the skin from the meat. I don't know if you guys got a good view of that because of the way I'm angled here, but is this how you guys chop your garlic too? Like this? Does anybody else have a hack that I don't know about?
My dad used to put garlic in the microwave for like 10 seconds and the skin would just like pop off the clove. It does cook it a tiny bit, I think, but
Right.
that was his little trick.
No way. I've
Yeah.
never heard of that. That's cool. I've seen the two bowls. Or you put like one bowl like this, you put all the garlic with the skin on inside and one bowl like this, the same size, and you hold them and then you just shake them like crazy for a while. And I guess that if you do that, the skin just kind of comes off. But that's if you're looking for a workout as well.
There's another question here. Does anyone know how much dried minced onion I can put in for one onion? I thought I had fresh, but don't.
Dried minced onion. I mean, 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoon, 1 to 2 teaspoons is my professional advice.
Hey, Krista, for the onion, are we cutting the onion?
Yeah,
Or-
we are. I just didn't get there yet, but go ahead and do it.
All
I
right.
like to do slices. It's pretty.
Okay.
Slices.
And that's also going in the baking soda water?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I would just chop it just because I mean, you can do whatever you want. It can go in there, especially being underneath the ground, you know? Okay, I'm gonna do some rapid chopping because I want to have time to talk with you all a little bit and make a little recipe book. I'm going into super speed mode. Is anybody done with theirs? Or have all of their herbs assembled at this point?
I have a question, Krista. When do we add the fruit? Are we there yet?
I'm not there, but you absolutely could be. if you want to go ahead and put the fruit in, like if you Google fire cider, people have these beautiful layers of things. So it'll be like herbs or dry herbs and then fresh herbs and then a layer of onion and then a layer of fruit. So you can kind of like choose your adventure.
Okay, I'm up to my onions.
Okay, go ahead and put them in. Everything's going in.
Okay, oh, you know what?
Krista, does it matter what size jar?
No. I think it maybe depends on how much vinegar you have, right?
I have a little bit. So can I use like a baby jar?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you can do any of that. Because fire cider is like a medicine that works over time on the gut,
Yeah.
it's helpful to have like a decent amount of it because you want to be like taking it regularly.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? So people tend to do it in big batches, but there's no rule that says you can't use a tiny jar.
A sample jar.
Yeah, why not? When I did that, I packed it really, really tight with like a whole bunch of stuff and then diluted it with water later.
Okay.
Okay. My garlics are going in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3.5, 4, 5, maybe 6. Fantastic. I forgot to add a little lavender to this. Because yum. And for that, I'm thinking little pinches, right? Like little bitty.
What was
Onion.
that last thing you just added in little pinches?
I put lavender in there. It's an experiment. I'm going for the onion. I like to do this.
I just added a little bit of calendula to mine.
Amazing.
See what happens.
Calendula, the bringer of the sunshine.
I know, we need it.
We need the colors. I mean, what I love about all of this is just the beauty of all of these senses and smells and colors all coming up. I'm gonna cut my onions in slices like this.
There's a question from Riston asking if anyone's leaving the skin on the ginger. I'm curious if anybody.
Hmm.
I did, but we weren't supposed to.
I did both ways. I peeled one and then I did one with the skin. I mean, it has more nutrients with the skin, so just did both.
Oh, because I left all my skin on.
I left my skin on too.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave the skin on this one that's sitting here. I'm gonna do both ends. Okay, I'm gonna do my other fruits. I have lemon. And I'm gonna make it pretty or try to pack them in there with my fingers, kind of press it down, not like too hard, but just give it a nice tuck it in, say good night. I think for the grapefruit, I see what we're dealing with. Some of it is a little weird. It's fine. I'm gonna do slices. I think now would be a good time, Sonia, since we're kind of like nearing the end, to maybe show the medicinal slide real quick, and then we can keep chatting as we're chopping. And if y'all have questions, of course, feel free to come on. This is just a really big list of everything I could think of. I didn't go like herb by herb by herb just because it was so many different herbs. But overall, fire cider is gonna be beneficial for so many systems in the body. The lungs, it's an expectorant, removing the mucus in the upper and lower respiratory tract. It's antifungal, antibacterial. A lot of these herbs are as well. The vinegar, the honey that will go in later, especially if you use a raw honey. We're here to boost our immunity, right? There's plenty in this world to fend off, protect against. So this is our small and simple way of taking care of ourselves. Our gut, it's probiotic. We need living foods. I can't say that enough. We need foods that are still alive in order to thrive. Especially if you were able to get the vinegar, quote, with the mother, or that's not distilled. That has a lot of probiotic enzymes in it. We're clearing our skin. Skin health is often linked to gut health. So on and so forth. You can check them all out individually. Yeah, and if you have questions.
I have
Yeah?
a quick question.
Mhm.
What's like, what would you say is like the recommended amount to have? Like, is there a recommended amount to have daily?
That's a great question that I didn't put in the slides. I guess I'm thinking of it in terms of like a shot glass. I would do maybe, if you're a strong person, you like are down for the strong flavors and you want to feel the fire cider when it's going in, you could do like 1/3 fire cider to 2/3 water or something. But you can dilute it with water as you wish. Maybe this is something that you don't want to be tasting, and that's okay too. But daily, yeah, something like a half a shot glass. Because taking a lot of vinegar can impact the enamel on your teeth. So also if you want to like just drink water right after to wash that vinegar out, that's good. But you have to be drinking a lot of vinegar for that to like matter. Also, I want to just show you guys the last of my black currants. Yay! From last year? I don't know exactly. It could be in a new bag by now. But the colors are really popping. It's almost like a mojito, but healthy. You can go to the next slide to start wrapping it up here. What else? Things I forgot, almost forgot, but then I made this slide. That's me and my girl K2 with our little garlics, by the way. Right, so wax paper, if you have parchment paper, wax paper, and you want to put it underneath the jar lid when you put it on, that will help save your lid essentially from corrosion, because the vinegar over time will interact with the metal in kind of a weird way. If you don't have that, you're not gonna get sick or anything. It just makes your lid a little bit more corroded. You can shake this once it's all full of vinegar. Is anybody done with theirs that we could like see? Did you add the vinegar? Yeah, once you're done with all the cutting, you just pour the vinegar over the top and give it a little shake, that like that. And then I want to see it. I'm in like doing 7 things at once in my brain, so I'm not done. I didn't finish in time, but maybe somebody else did.
I'll be done in like 2 seconds.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm almost done. This mixture can sit for kind of as long as you want. 3 to 4 weeks is pretty standard. If you're like me and you have really bad ADD, you may want to label it to be like, this is when I started this project, so that when you come back, you know how much time it's been passed. You can wait up to 8 weeks. You can wait up to a year. You could let this ferment. You could save this for the revolution. Just have it be in your pantry, chilling. And then as far as the honey goes, you want to mix the honey And it's kind of a sweeten to taste situation. So you want to mix the honey with a little bit of warm water, not hot water, so to not kill the medicinal properties of the honey, just so it will flow nicely. And you can add that to your strained mixture. Another last thing is that you can use a cheesecloth at the end. You can use a cheesecloth to strain it. So you can like squeeze it with your hands and get all the liquid out. Oh my God, you guys, I think I did it. I talked and did something at the same time. Yes.
If
I'm
you don't
shaking.
have, if I don't have the, you said not aluminum, no, you didn't say aluminum foil, you said, wax paper.
Mm-hmm.
Can I use parchment paper?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or even a really thin rag, like a towel.
Oh, okay. Well, I have the parchment paper. I'm gonna use that.
Yeah, that'll work.
Thanks. Okay.
Of course. Also, if you have a plastic lid, that could be a vibe. Wow, this is some thick vinegar that I got from the store. Interesting. I've never seen it so thick like that before. Because it's made from apple juice. It says organic, raw, unfiltered. Maybe it's just all the probiotics in here. Because usually it's clear enough that you can like see all the layers. Can you shake that one? Maybe this is what with the mother. Thanks. That's not good.
I have a question. Have you ever given raw like a fire cider to a child, or do you not recommend that?
I am not an herbalist, but I did read that children can have it in very small doses. I think getting them to drink it is another thing.
It also
But
depends what you put in it. So if you put certain herbs in it, then you need to make sure that they're good for children. You also, if you put high amounts of, like I put a lot of nettle in mine and then like calendula, I wouldn't give that to a child.
hmm.
And I studied herbalism, so it just really depends. And quite honestly, it depends if the child runs hot, runs cold. It's really like a whole consultation to know the child's body to know what type of reaction they might have.
Thank
So as
you.
long as you list all of your ingredients, it's easier to then decide if you give it to a child.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you.
All right, what is the next slide? Oh yeah, we were gonna do this. Maybe this is something we can do as like an after call check-in. This is half empty for a reason because my thought was that we could all share, or if you want to share in the chat as we're kind of like wrapping up and we can add it to this when we send the slides out. My thought was, what's a recipe that you use vinegar for? And for whatever recipe you use vinegar for, you can use fire cider for. It's pre-seasoned, and has all of these medicinal benefits. So I had here, you can drink it straight. You can use it as like your vinegar component in a salad dressing, can have meat marinade. So yeah, either drop in the chat or what's another way they can stay like connected and fill this out, Tanya?
Wondering if a different way because I have to go now, but I have a call, but this was like really cool doing this together. So I would love to stay in touch and yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for
Yeah.
being.
Be well,
so much.
everyone. See you.
Thanks,
Bye.
Olive. I was just gonna say we're gonna send out the slides and the recording, and
Okay.
yeah, we can maybe all kind of keep in touch that way if people want to share on the email thread what they are going to use their cider for.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
How do we store it? In a cool place, like a cool, dark place, or just out on the counter? How do we store it?
Exactly. Cool dark is probably a good place.
Cool, dark, like in a pantry?
But not in the fridge.
Not in the fridge. Okay, I'm gonna put it in my pantry. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Not in the fridge.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, not in the fridge. We want it at room temperature so
Mhm.
that it's infusing a little bit faster. The fridge will cool it down and slow the process
Right.
down, I think, too much.
And you said 4 to 6 weeks? Let me do
Yeah.
my video.
I said 2 to 8. Internet says 3 to 4.
Oh, 2 to 8, 3 to 4.
You can try it after 3 weeks and see if it's spicy enough for you.
Are we
And if
adding
not,
honey in it
Okay.
or just after?
And
we're
then
gonna y'all
we
are
sh-
gonna add the honey on your own because I didn't want to put it in here because it's kind of fighting the different aspects. Like the honey is the honey can ferment. It's its own thing. It would like ferment into a different drink.
Okay.
You
Right.
put it in now. But yeah, just add it later to taste, and you want to like water it down just very slightly with a little bit of hot water, and then add it when you strain it into another container.
That's what I'm getting ready to ask you, strain it, right?
Okay. Is there any
Mhm.
more slides, Sonia? Because it is the time. Oh yeah, I just wanted to say a little shout out to these amazing herbalists and farmers. I put them up here. These links are clickable. They go right to their work. We have some incredible people doing some incredible work in our area. Thank you for sharing where y'all are coming from today. We got Sage Herbals, who is like truly going through it and, you know, can use all of the support. She's incredible herbalist, teacher, gardener, manager of hundreds of acres of land. Just a baddie generally. We got Sovereign Herbs. Shout out to Cat Lopez, who also is involved with Sweet Freedom Farm and is doing an amazing project to bring herbs to Midtown Kingston at literally like at the laundromat, just bringing herbs to people. It's really powerful and impressive work, and they are an amazing farmer. Arnie Farm on the bottom right, we have Amara and Khadija just living their best life clearly. Friends of Plants, yeah, go cat. Yeah, these links will be available, like Sonia said, to everybody. But please, you know, follow them, send them $5, like send them $20, just support them. We love them all. And this is me. So if you want to stay in contact with me and contact with True Foods, we're going to be rolling out our membership soon. We're going to be doing monthly foraging in-person events in this area. But if you're not in this area, then there's other ways to stay connected through the mailing list. Go ahead and I'm trying to get off Instagram. So, oh, I didn't even put the website, but it's truefoodshv.com. It's the same, truefoodshv.com. Just click. You can stay connected with me and all the work that we are doing. Is there any final questions, comments?
Thank you for this. This was great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Thank you all for being here. I want to, for some reason, the vinegar I bought is so like cloudy. I feel like it's rich in probiotic goodness. Otherwise, I would like try to show you closer, but it is what it is. Questions? Go ahead and.
I have a question. So, in one of these recipes I read about fire cider, they said horseradish would be a good thing to add. And I'm wondering what your thoughts are about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My neighbor's dog knows that the time of this is over.
There's one more question.
Go ahead. I have time.
There's one more question from Mel asking if there's both water and apple cider vinegar or just the vinegar in the jar.
Just vinegar
Okay.
for now. If once you strain it, you're like, you know what? Like, for example, I have some old one on my fridge right now. And because it's a really big jar, the fire cider only took up this much. And I just filled the rest with water after I strained it to be able to just kind of take little shots of it and not have to dilute it every time.
Well, thank you all so much for joining. Thank you, Krista. This was a lot of fun. I was doing tech things, but I'm really excited to make fire cider this weekend. I dropped a link to a feedback survey. If you all have a minute, it's a really quick one just to provide feedback. Also, if you have ideas about what you'd like to learn in future Skillshares, there's space to put that into. So I'd love to hear from you. And like I said, we'll send out a follow-up email with recording, slides, resources, contact info, all of that stuff. So stay tuned for that.
Amazing. And shout out to Annalise for the tech. This is the bag. Yeah, if you could see how the computers are like doing what they're doing right now, you'd be impressed. I think that's it from me. I guess I hope to stay connected with you all. Feel free to just reach out and say hi, either Instagram or through email. Keep on working it out.